This is an elevator. I see, this entire rock is an elevator. Once again, Monokuma's doing what he pleases. However, if he's gone this far and made something like this, I don't think he's playing around. Even so, we're going pretty deep. You're right. I heard an unnerving chattering sound inside my head. I soon realized it was the sound of my teeth. All I could do was purse my lips tightly, so everyone else couldn't hear it. Monokuma really likes his elevators. Well, I mean, the best real estate is underground, so... rock bottom prices if you build at bedrock, I'd say. That's what I've heard, anyway. There we were, listening to unpleasant roars as the elevator plunged deeper and deeper into the earth. Some time passed before the elevator finally finished descending. And then the elevator door slowly opened. Ooh, fancy traveler. Okay, welcome! Well, this is the class trial field. How do you like it? It's a special place that will decide your fates.
Why, you...
What the hell is he thinking? Locking us in a shitty looking place like this?
Don't fuck with me!
You're fucking crazy! Don't mess with me, asshole! Claim playing all you like. I'm used to it by now. Come on, you're wasting your time and energy. Hurry up and take your seats where your names are written. Looks like everyone knows. Even if we tried to resist, it won't change a thing. Just as Monokuma ordered, we walked toward the seats we had been assigned. From this point on, we need to find out who killed Byakuya. The ultimate affluent progeny, Byakuya Tagami. He was overly critical, arrogant, and condescending. But he also had a strong sense of responsibility. As we were panicking, he accepted his role as leader and tried his very best to keep us together. A guy like him got murdered. The person who did it is one of us. I can't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. But if it's really true, we need to find out by any means possible. Because that's our only option. There is no way for us to survive unless we sacrifice the killer. He's also my best friend. Yeah, the one person I hung out with. And so, this life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Sure, we'll save, why not? Okay, let's set our skills. We'll use Lost in Thoughts. Melodious Voice. And Mood Maker. There we go. Let's open the Heian book. We'll take a look at our case so far. Okay, so the Monokuma file. Sorry, hold on. At least I'm don't have to do voices now. The victim's body was discovered in the dining hall of the old building near the Hotel Mirai. Estimated time of death is 11:30 p.m. The victim was repeatedly stabbed over 10 times between the throat and abdominal region, resulting in death. Aside from that, the body has no other external injuries, and no chemicals such as poison were detected. The body under the table is face down as if Byakuya were reaching for something. Possibly the knife. But the thing I don't understand with that is if he planted the knife, why would he put it under the table instead of just in his case with everything else that he had, like, prepared for emergencies? Bloodstained knife found under the table where the body was discovered. A glowing paint-like substance coats it. So this is clearly... Okay, hold on. Right. Byakuya wouldn't have been the one to play at the knife. He had the night vision goggles. So he wouldn't have had a reason to coat the knife with glowing paints. Because he'd be able to see regardless if a blackout were to occur due to his night vision goggles. Which implies the knife was planted by the killer. But simultaneously, I don't believe that the knife was the murder weapon. Which is strange, for sure. A pool of blood formed around the body underneath the table. A lot of blood was splattered against the inside of the tablecloth. Also, there's no sign that the body was dragged through the bloodstain. I guess that's the question. How do you end up with so much blood under the table? Like, it almost implies that the murder took place under the table. But that seems very implausible. Like, that's a weird way for murder to happen. Unless it was, like, through the floorboards. Which is a possibility, but I don't buy it. The floors of the dining hall were full of gaps. Gundam dropped one of his earrings through these gaps. Now, this is where I'm thinking you could have, like, stashed a skewer or something to use as a murder weapon. But maybe that's a flawed theory. AC timer set to 11:30. So this is clearly how the blackout happened. This, in conjunction with the irons, overload the circuit breaker, make the blackout happen. So whoever set these is likely the murderer. Byakuya had night vision goggles. I don't know why this is evidence, honestly. During the blackout, Mikon tripped and fell in the dining hall. By the time the lights came back on, she ended up in a compromising position. Hold on, I would like to look at something. Can I see? Where was her position? Seriously, is the photos... We'll just keep them there. The duralumin case, the case Byakuya had with him, there's a lot of security equipment inside, and a hard plastic case as well. The key to the other duralumin case is inside here too. Alright, during the blackout, Ibuki was able to discern all of the noises people were making. Well, it's a blackout. Hey, I can't see anything. It's pitch black. My future's pitch black. Everyone calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation like this. Don't step on my feet. What the hell? What's going on here? This is... Ow. And turn the damn lights on. Interesting. There are 3 irons placed. See, this is interesting. A different bloody sheet. Could the blood on the sheets have been planted prior on the tablecloths? It's a possibility. I mean, we do have livestock that you could have gotten sourced the blood from. First try is basically which character's backstory is getting cut short. I guess I get what you mean. Gas stove in the kitchen is powered by electricity. That's why a Territory couldn't use it during the blackout. I presume for like the sparker, right? Territory poured his heart and soul into cooking. Various parties, however, Akana and Pekka were the only ones who ate them. I fail to see how that's relevant. If a fire breaks out, the fire door in the hallway of the old building can be shut to keep the fire from spreading. But also, I guess it's another potential means of egress. The knife found at the crime scene was not included on the kitchen's equipment list. All the dangerous equipment that could be a potent weapon was confiscated by Byakuya. Apparently, there's an iron plate for barbecue and portable stove for cooking hot pots. When Chiaki was standing guard outside, Fuyuhiko apparently came to the old building, then walked away. A threatening letter that was found inside Byakuya's room. During the search for Byakuya after the blackouts, Kazuchi headed straight for the office. He didn't see anyone there, including Peko. According to Mikan's autopsy, Byakuya sustained several puncture wounds to his chest and abdomen. The wounds were inflicted by a thin, sharp weapon, roughly 5 millimeters in diameter. Nekomaru kept trying to use the bathroom since before the party started, but someone was using it the whole time. He was able to enter the bathroom after Byakuya's body was discovered. Who could have been in the bathroom, though? Like, is there anyone who's not accounted for? During the time frame that the bathroom was supposedly occupied? I don't think so. Unless the door is just locked. Okay. Alright, let's get into this. I still think Nagito is my prime suspect. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. See how it plans out.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Monomi.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monokuma, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin.
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
No?
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds?
Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
Yeah?
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table. I'll be curious to see, like, who in these trials actually, like, steps up to be, like, extremely competent. Obviously, in the last game, it was basically, like, Kyoko and Byakuya carrying throughout the whole game. I wonder if there's going to be any similar dynamics here. We can start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. If we can't do that... No, thinking about if is a waste of time. We have to do this no matter what. So, the class trial has finally started. From this point on, I will provide simple tutorials at every important moment. I'm sorry, please excuse my irritating rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, we'll engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, all of your classmates will speak one after the other without any breaks. It's up to you to reveal any lies or mistakes contained within their statements. This means you'll have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Out of all the truth bullets you find during your investigation, only the relevant ones will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to move the reticule, then fire with the left mouse button. Pay close attention to each character's statements and choose your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so, please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Alright, let's go. Back in the saddle. Here we go. Gaps in the floorboard, knife, and blood stain under the table.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why?
Like, it's obvious the blood stain under the
Obviously, by
table
hiding the
contradicts
body.
that.
They tried to delay its discovery! Like a dog burying a bone!
Huh. What he just said was strange. It clearly contradicts the information I know.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Unlikely.
No, that's wrong.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body.
Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Aw, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
Shishiyoko is savage.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed.
Could the fire doors have something to do with how you get under the floorboards?
Then, shortly thereafter, he found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
Do and I know the same Byakuya?
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
Yeah.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
The reason Byakuya dove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... It was in response to the letter? He was worried that a murder would occur? We'll try this. This may sound presumptuous, but I think that's wrong.
Crap!
Everyone's staring. Looks like I just made a fool of myself in front of everyone. Okay, the reason he dove under the table, actually, it's, couldn't have been... Gaps on the floorboard doesn't make sense. AC doesn't make sense. Maybe he was trying to reach... He dropped his night vision goggles, and he was trying to get them? Yeah, he was reaching towards the goggles. Oh, come on! Okay, hold on. The reason he dove under the table, actually, as it turns out. Burns in the store? No. It wouldn't have been the party dishes. No. What could it be? I mean, there's no... Okay. And checking the gaps in the floorboards, that doesn't make sense. Maybe. What he was doing at the party. Maybe we just use this? Like he saw something crazy happen and wanted to respond to it? Oh, come on!
Crap!
Sheesh, how? This is like the second thing. What am I missing here? And maybe it was the knife? He saw the knife and was trying to get at the knife?
I can prove it with this.
Okay. Alright.
Probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Saw it glowing?
Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there.
How do you even notice that if the tablecloth was down though, right? Like if the tablecloth were down, that'd be like I guess the tablecloth might be slightly translucent. So in the dark you might be able to see some sort of light coming from under the table.
So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
Exactly.
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What do you mean?
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial.
During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there will be only one lie or contradiction in the debate at a time. This means that there will be false weak spots. If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to refute what was said, but you also lower your trust with everyone and your influence gauge will take damage. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will fail, so please be extra careful. You have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or mistakes. Also, if you concentrate by holding down the space key, you can progress the argument slowly. Please use it whenever you feel like these statements are moving too fast for you to aim. However, this does consume the focus gauge, so please be careful. If you press the escape key during these arguments, you can reveal the controls. Okay. Knife, bloodstain, gaps in the floorboard, AC, night vision goggles. Okay. We'll see what the argument is.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct.
Okay, yeah.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black.
It was so dark I couldn't see my food. Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
Not if he had night vision goggles.
No, that's wrong.
Also, the knife is glowing too, so there's that.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Certainly.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
What? Whoa, I'm the only one not to do that. What the heck?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
I'm not used to other people contradicting me and my statements. This is new. Were you surprised by my hero's sudden argument? Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into a one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Showdown. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the WASD keys? Okay. What? Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. I'm confused. And based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. Okay. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a number that shows the sharpness of your counter is displayed. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of debates. You will lose counts of sharpness even if you miss, so please be very careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means a conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood toward the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please refute any weak spots with the left mouse button. Okay. I still don't really know what's going on, but okay, sure, we'll try it. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, we've got blades now, you will not be able to cut an opponent's remark. Huh, what's a truth blade? I am terribly sorry. It appears that there has been a delay in contacting you. I'll make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any other changes to your handbook menu. Only the name was changed, but don't you think a change in feeling is important? If you press the escape key during the arguments, you can review the controls. Okay, good luck, have fun. I'm sure it'll make more sense once I actually see it in play. Alright. Knife. It's going to be the case, for certain.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down.
Okay. I failed that, apparently. Just a little more and I could draw something out next time.
If you just use common, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Advance, okay.
That the killer used them.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even, in reality. So those goggles were planned and the killer brought them to the crime scene.
Oh. No, they didn't.
Allow me to cut through those words. No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I didn't realize that Hajime, because you don't hear his voice acting normally. He's very soft-spoken.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too?
No.
If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
I mean, I think for once maybe he doesn't, actually. The knife was brought in the Duralumin case, along with the night vision goggles, too? No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started. I should be able to prove it. With the duct tape.
I see! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? duct tape. They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Doubtful.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
That's right. Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility that a murder would occur because of the threat.
I can prove it with this. Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Be careful, the first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies.
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
Not a very funny one.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. Strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?